Hello everyone, welcome to Cogzidel TV. It's online. My name is Bala. I'm a chartered accountant and I'm the founder of Cogzidel TV. You know what? Whenever people have problems, normally what they do? They are very depressed. They feel so sorry about it. Or they may be feeling that no, it was my mistake. I shouldn't have done that. And they keep worrying about the problem. Okay. I know some people. Whenever they talk, they are depressed. When they have a problem, whenever they talk to people, they'll totally whine about it, cry about it, and all that. The person who is listening to them, they'll go on depression. That's the kind of a feel many people have. All right, whenever they have a problem. All right, but there is this man who's always happy. He leads his life very happy. So people think that he may not have any problems. But you know what? He's a common man. He also has problems, but he's always kind of happy. So when people ask him about why are you always happy? How can you always be happy? He said, see, everyone has problems in life. All right. So if there is a problem, instead of worrying about the problem, we should look at whether there is a solution. If there is a solution, then why do you worry about it? Because there is a solution. No? Suppose if there is no solution at all and you cannot do anything and it is beyond your control, still why do you worry? You don't have a solution to it and you cannot do anything. You'll have to leave it like that. So you just go with the flow of whatever happens in life. And that's what make you to be so happy about everything that happens in your life. And that's what, my dear friends, so life is all about living. Likewise, this budget, what we have just seen, Union Budget 2022. So it has got many announcements. Some are beneficial, some expectations were not met, some it's not kind of so impressive, like that. Everybody has kind of their own feel towards the budget announcement. But the point is, if there is some benefit for you, you'll have to enjoy it. If there is no benefit for you, it's beyond your control and you cannot do anything. But instead of worrying about it, I suggest you just take it as it is and to ensure that you do more better than before, so that you don't feel sorry about anything that has happened. All right. So today we are going to discuss about the Union Budget 2022, which was announced by Finance Minister, and to see that how it is beneficial for business owners, individuals, and kind of stuff. And also we are going to talk about if it has not met any expectation and how people can handle it. All right. I am glad to welcome Mr. Badri Seshadri, who is the publisher of Kirak Padipagam, to discuss about the Union Budget 2022. Welcome to our show, Mr. Badri.
Nice meeting you again.
Same here. So, Union Budget 2022, there was a big expectation and we discussed a lot in the previous video about what is it in store for business owners and salaried class people and all the others. So, as we discussed, a lot of things have happened, a lot of things have not happened. First, to start with, I would like to know about the salary class individuals, who actually had a lot of expectations on this budget, and you were sharing your opinion in the previous thing. You need not expect. I don't see a reason for anybody to expect anything because of a valid reason. That also you quoted beautifully.
Right.
So, in this budget, since there was no announcement.
Correct.
For the salary class people to provide any further benefits. So, I would like to know your viewpoint.
Yes. So, I was sort of expecting this. I wouldn't say, nobody can say with assurance outside of the core team that this is what is going to happen. So, I pretty much thought that there will be nothing specific for the salaried class, because as I had mentioned earlier, that it had already been done and you cannot keep producing the tax income that is coming from the salaried class. If anything, we actually said the tax net had to be widened, and there is nothing that is talked about specifically in this budget, but I am assuming that in the coming months and years there will be an attempt to get more and more people into the tax net. Now, until that point, I think what we have gotten as salaried class and the direct tax paying class, things are fine, and we should really be happy about. There is nothing to be angry about or sad about this. So my view is that not only now, But even for the next couple of years or the rest of this particular government's term, there will be anything that will be done. Maybe in the final year, as a sort of a SOP, as a run up to the elections, some further rationalization may happen.
Okay, all right. Next we talk about business owners.
Right.
Okay. So you tell about your viewpoint about what benefits, or if there is any, for business owners in general, and also to say that if something that we expected but did not happen, about how it can be addressed.
Okay. See, the credit guarantee has been extended, and to be honest, it really did help even earlier. I remember as a business owner myself, the bank calling and saying, you have eligibility. Do you want the loan? Right? No, very rarely something like this has happened in the past, and it was brought in specifically for the COVID hit economy. But the only people who can benefit from that are those in the formal sector, in a sense, right? You should have been registered, you should have an MSME registration, all these things. Then you are eligible for certain loans, interest moratoriums. All of this happened. Did it help the entire economy? No, because there is a lot of non-formal set of people. And so my suggestion to all of them is, please become formal, right? Get into the standardized setup, and don't keep saying, no, we have always been doing business like this, etc. That's not going to help you anymore. You cannot expect government to help you if you are not formal, registered, something that I can follow. Take for example a bank today. A bank today is ready to lend you money based on your GST filing, right? That is a big formalism itself.
Correct.
So even if you are not a private limited company, etc., if you are a GST registered business, based on your GST returns, the bank is ready to lend you.
Correct.
Right? So that is a great formalization of the economy. You make it better, you become a registered private limited company, you follow all the norms. If you are an MSME, you register as an MSME. All of this is going to help you. Right? So this is what I would say. A government can only provide help in that direction. So that is one. So there is certainly a lot more that is happening there. Second is in the specific sectoral production linked incentives. Okay. I'm not a major fan of production linked incentives on a sort of a long term basis. But if you identify certain areas where you have massive imports and foreign currency is being drained, you identify that area, such as semiconductors, electronic products, etc., and then put in a lot of emphasis there and get local, make in India kind of scenario. That's a great thing, and there is considerable money that is put on that. Right? That's a great thing. The third is that the very large investment in infrastructure. Okay, I can see that a lot of people are making fun of it, particularly the opposition parties, etc. But that's let's not talk politics here. When so much of money goes into infrastructure, the whole thing filters down. It's not again, trickle down economics is also made fun of. Here the trickle down is faster, right? Let's say that the favorite Ambani, Adani, Tata and such get a large project. Do you think they are going to do everything? They win the large project. That's all. You can give such large projects only to them because so much of money has to be put in. Now after that, you have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 subcontractors, subcontractors. Tiny fellow who is making a screw in one corner is going to benefit from that directly. Right? And they all in turn employ people from the formal sector, from the informal sector. So huge job generation is going to happen.
Wonderful. Yes.
Right? So that is a way in which you actually kickstart the economy. One other model that, for example, the US followed and some of the other countries followed. In India, I'm pretty sure if it is brought in, it will be violated and money will be made by all kinds of people. For example, direct money was pushed to companies in US to keep their employees in the payrolls. Because they were going to basically lay off a whole bunch of them because of COVID. So the government told them, don't push them into the unemployment segment. Keep them in your payrolls. I know what the payroll amount is. I will pay that money to you for a certain number of months. So they will be in your rolls. You may or may not do any work. So you get the money and you pay them. So they can get all the medical benefits, everything basically. But at some point in time, I will stop this. At the time, if you have a real demand, you will anyway be deploying them. Otherwise, you push them into an unemployment thing, and then their confidence goes away, and so many other problems happen. Right? Here, we saw that the PF component was paid off by the government for those below a certain. We didn't really go all the way like the US kind of a model. Something like that could have helped, but again, the way in which it will get abused in India, I'm a little diffident about getting into that. So I mean, that didn't happen, and budget is not going to say anything or did not say anything even going forward. So what is happening is okay, but I was expecting a lot more of sectoral support in some specific areas which really suffered. There wasn't any specific announcement. Maybe based out of already the allocated money, something if something like that happens will be good. A lot more of focus and emphasis on healthcare sector, I was hoping.
I think
that didn't happen.
16% is something.
That is not enough. That's not enough. Look at the last 2 years, the kind of money that had to be spent by both the government and the individuals in the healthcare. I'm sure a lot of people who hospitalized their near and dear for this whole COVID treatment would have lost a lot of money. Many of them did not have insurance. And or if they had insurance, it was for a very small amount. Right? So I think both individual investment in insurance, the one thing that I would say as an advice is, if you are looking at personal insurance amount, you should consider a much bigger amount than the earlier 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh is all not enough anymore. You'll have to be in tens of lakhs. And government should also build a large scale infrastructure for healthcare.
Talking about the investment on the health sector, we expected more from the government side, but actually it's about 16% is the total allocation now. So does it mean that the central government thinks it is not required anymore because of the situation currently? That do you think the central government thinks that it is not required that much of amount to be invested?
No. Let's look at it differently, right? The core investment in vaccines that may have to come down. I think we have pretty much COVID is on the way out, is what I can see. So that is that's okay. But I am saying, using this as an opportunity. See, for the first time, the country really experienced massive countrywide healthcare delivery by way of vaccination. Right? Now, this can be multiplied. For delivering all kinds of healthcare delivery. I'm talking about going to primary healthcare. Now, that doesn't come down. So far, states and central had not really put that much emphasis on healthcare. They had these minor, these RSBY scheme or some kind of insurance scheme, but that is not really a big time healthcare investment. I think government pushing much more money in healthcare is actually an investment. It's almost like an infrastructure investment. You will get so much more back. A healthier person will be able to deliver more in the economy than an eternally sick person. A sick mother can never deliver a healthy baby. And that means that your portion scheme, X scheme, Y scheme that you are talking about will have to be there all the time. But instead you put a lot of emphasis on giving more healthy food to pregnant women. And then the child is healthy. There's a lot of emphasis on noon meal scheme. I mean, sort of related. I'm not talking about just the healthcare, but better treatment, better child delivery mechanisms, then vaccination to them. So now we have learnt a lot. COVID has actually taught us a lot. If all these things are done, you would have an extremely healthy
Okay.
country which will directly deliver value.
Mm.
It will help you in delivering a massive economy to us.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So I'm hoping that at least in the coming years,
Okay.
you really think about actually doubling the healthcare spend.
Okay. Okay.
And the upper middle class will anyway manage that. They have money, but they have to now think about putting more into their health insurance. But otherwise, COVID is actually a good sort of a wake-up call for all of us to take care of our health much better. Particularly take the comorbidity as an issue. We never used to talk about comorbidity.
Correct.
Now, the fact that you have some kind of comorbidity, which is the basic lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and cholesterol, etc. If you have it, you are going to get all kinds of other diseases. Viruses know about that. Bacteria will know about that. So you better take care of all of that and then become a healthy nation.
Okay. All right. So talking about your point that in the health sector, investment is considered reasonably, and if it has been properly spent, I think there will be substantial results.
Yes.
So relating to this particular viewpoint of yours, there is a question that there is a central allocation of say 100,000 lakh crores to states.
Correct.
But there is a hook in it that only towards the central government schemes like Gati Shakti and kind of stuff.
Yes.
The funds will be utilized.
Yes.
But do you think that the states will really get benefited if there is a hook to a central investment stating that this cannot be used entirely for the state development but for the central government schemes?
Correct.
So
correct. There is a lot of criticism. I was following the news coverage surrounding that the conditions are onerous and it is very restrictive. That's one of the criticisms. The second is also that it is, you just creative accounting, you are moving some money and calling it capital expenditure, right? I think the right approach should be to just give the money to the state governments and let them decide. You can give some broad parameters, right? If it has to be capex, it has to be only capex. You cannot use it and pay off salaries, etc. That is okay to me. But what should be the scheme and how much should be spent on which scheme, and the fact that whether it should be a central government scheme or a state government scheme, that's not a fair thing. So I would have preferred a better model, but maybe let there be more negotiations, and then you push the states should have to push the central to say that this is not acceptable, or at least first make it 50-50. So 50% of the money that I give you will be, let's say, central government projects, but the other 50% could be more flexible. So at least there is allocation that has happened. Now how it is spent, how it is audited, how it is how things are ensured so that it actually delivers value. I hope there is a better give and take in that particular area.
So very important topic now, digital currency. So there is an announcement of the RBI, through RBI, digital currency will be introduced in 22-23. And at the same time, all the existing digital currency income will be entirely taxed at the rate of 30%. Any income that you earn. So what happens to most of the people whom I have interacted with so far? So during the COVID time, when the businesses were down and the employments were not happening that effectively and all that, so many people started investing in crypto, and they were kind of satisfactory also in terms of the returns and everything. Though it was short term, but still they were kind of happy. At least it gives some quick results.
Correct.
And this news, having announced that it will be taxed from now onwards, and also government is going to. So do you think there will be a relativity of government coming up with their own digital currency and taxing the existing setup, and how it's going to be? So it's please share your.
See, I don't fully understand the government's idea of digital currency. Whether there will be, sort of, it's going to be listed, whether its price will keep going up and down, I don't know yet. And if they want to do it, I would still ask a question as to why they would like to do that. If even now, as you see, a rupee which is pegged to so many other things is also available in the form of digital, in terms of transaction. It's your money, it's in the bank in the form of digital only. I mean, it's not, in a month or in a year, these days, those of us in the city, we are dealing with so little of actual physical cash.
Correct.
Create a certain bulk of exactly like how Bitcoin is, or how Ethereum is, or how Dogecoin is, etc. Sort of very similar to that is what I'm guessing. uh, then it becomes a sort of an instrument, which is then pegged to rupee.
Okay.
And then people speculate on it. I don't understand that.
Okay.
So I will. Let's wait for more detail on that.
Okay. Okay.
But taxing income that is coming from any speculative trade by 30% or whatever that percentage is completely fair. So far, people thought that they could just do all of that and just get away with it. But the government is at least saying that they are not banning cryptocurrency, but they are going to tax the income you generate out of them, which I think is fair. That's number one, right? And now people should not be really unhappy about that.
See what happens. There is a opinion of many experts that government itself thinking of coming up with a digital currency is basically looking at the demand or the current scenario of digital currency investments of existing currency, because almost everybody invests and they want to see a quick growth and it is flexible, easy to invest in kind of stuff. So looking at this particular framework, so that is what basically makes the government also to think that okay, let us come up with something like that so that we can convert all those existing Bitcoin use and blockchain users into this system. But announcing that it is going to be taxed at 30%, basically would take a back seat of such people thinking, okay, let me not do this kind of thing. So do you think that would happen?
What else? See, let's take this question in two parts, right? The first part is that government has no need to come up with speculative income, right?
Yes.
They are not going to make money of this process other than the tax income. In a growing country like India, there are opportunities for sensible investment. In a country like US, there is a lot of difficulty in figuring out because bank ruled out. It's 0% interest, near 0% interest. So it's only stock market. Now, there is no in between. There is no balance. Right? There is no fixed income safe investment model that is possible. Right? And that is where bubbles keep getting created. All kinds of asset bubble. It would have been the real estate bubble. Instead of real estate bubble, because the money now moves into crypto, a crypto bubble is being created. And partly a stock market bubble. At least the stock market, there is an underlying, there is a company, and if it's a sensible company, it is producing with all the investment that comes in, they may end up producing something which therefore can justify the increase in their stock price. In crypto, I still don't understand why is the price going up. So anybody who can create a random crypto because they can actually program using blockchain. And now the other thing that is really going through all over the place is this non-fungible token, NFT. And people are going and investing in that, buying and selling. You buy something which is not real in your hand and you buy it at a certain price, sell it immediately at another price, and then you buy, sell for all of this, and you are just jacking up the price. Just madness.
Correct.
Right? Now that speculation itself cannot be stopped. But people should realize that there are risks associated with it. In short term, if it is money that you are making, be prepared for money that you are going to lose also. So, if you have a lot of money in hand, allocate a certain portion for all that kind of a trade. But Indian government trying to come up with, through RBI, a digital currency, something like any of these Bitcoin, etc. Should they be even doing it itself is my question. I want to understand. So I won't say anything yet at this particular point.
Okay. So coming to the last part of the session, this budget. Okay, what is your opinion about how the business owners and salary class people and all the other individuals should look at this budget? And how they need to take it forward, because either in the business or personal finance, because the mindset is very important, because they expected something, did not happen, did happen, all these things are there. New things are introduced and all that. So considering whatever has been announced, how the business owners and salaried people have to react to it and how they can take it forward in a positive way is something that you can.
So in a sense, what I'm saying is the relevance of budget is coming down. Right? If, for example, every budget there is going to be no tinkering with the taxation. There is a stability already. So you would not be looking at what is the tax rate, how is it going to change, etc. Right? The indirect tax also, if we achieve a considerable degree of stability and no major changes, that would be great. So we will then only look at directions. And the direction actually should not happen once every year.
Okay.
It should be once every 5 years. So a new government comes and it then gives us a signal that we have following mandate, and for the next 5 years this is what we are going to do. Right?
Okay.
So almost in a sense, you can split the budget into what is happening now as a budget into two parts. One is a vision statement. Now even this budget, there is a lot of vision, a 25-year vision. Now 25-year visions have a certain problem in it. You are not going to be the only party that is going to rule.
Correct.
By the very concept of democracy, somebody else will come and they may want to change the direction, and democracy should allow for that.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. So your 25-year vision need not necessarily be bought by those in the opposition. And we don't know who is going to win next and the next and the next, etc. But okay, it's fine. I mean, you say that for the next 25 years, this must be the vision, right? So this finance minister talked about a 25-year vision. A 5-year vision is a good idea, but do it at the beginning.
Okay.
So you won the election, set the vision at that particular point in time, okay, and build a budget vision for the next 5 years, but status check after every year. So it should be very simple. It should become even shorter document, lesser. It's almost like a methodical stuff. In a board meeting, we discuss the budget for the next year. You say that this is the standard stuff, like what we estimated, what the actuals were, and what is the projections for the next year. These are the major allocations.
In fact, you were mentioning about this in the previous discussion.
Exactly.
Actually, it did not.
It's in a way it is going there.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy about that. Make it shorter and shorter. Bring considerable level of stability, and during the year, then don't wait for budgets. During the year, if you want any short-term changes, some import tariff to be applied on the following things for the following reasons, that is a short-term measure.
Okay.
It's not something that you should be announcing in the budget document, okay, unless there is something really important. So remove all kinds of speculation from the budget. And I don't want to see a budget resulting in stock market going up or down. Now it's going up. Many times in the past it has gone down. So I don't want expectations whatsoever. You were saying, individuals had expectation, business owners had expectation, some happened, some didn't happen. There should be no expectations. It is where I want to see your performance. Right? You say you are going to you said a year back that you would spend so much. What did you spend? What has happened? Give me status report. I'm not all interested in general grandiose statement and quotation from Mahabharata, quotation from Tirukkural. This is just bunkum. I don't want to see all of that. Simple, straightforward document, balance sheets, and just move on with it. So that this all channels focusing on that. We can debate about it. That's a different matter. But make it easier, simpler, and don't really just say so much. For example, I want to know this water for everyone. I'm really happy about such projects. How much are you spending? What actually happened? Why are you increasing or decreasing? Similarly, NREGA, some reduction. So if there is a reduction, explain why there is a reduction. Right? I have some concerns about this budget. Like extraordinary amount of money is being put into buying food grains. That's to basically please the farming lobby. I don't see any reason to buy so much of food grains. Just because so much of food grains is being grown. This minimum support price is a complete mess. No, I don't want to talk about that. But I see that as a problem. Now you see that so much going there. A lot of money is going into defense. I don't want that much money going into defense. I know you have enemies in the border, etc. But you don't necessarily have to keep pumping so much into that. There, a percentage taken out and put into healthcare, a percentage taken out and put into education will give you so much more power, real power actually.
So the positive side of looking at this budget is that many business owners, established businesses as of today, when they were small, they have passed through all such turbulences.
Right.
So what we could say to the startups and MSMEs and all that look at this budget in a positive sense, be more confident than before. Do your best and ensure that still you feel much happy about what, let it happen in any way. I'll prove myself to this world.
So there is a lot of positive. First of all, that post-COVID, we grew very well, and that percentage is there.
Ah.
We are going to grow at pretty much the same percentage next year. That's the projection. It looks very good. In the world, we are in the large economies, we are at the very top in terms of growth rate. So everyone who is doing business in this country will directly benefit from it, provided you have certain minimal things that you need. That the formalization is one of the key things that we are looking at. Then you have support. The banking, there are issues such as, for example, the banks have been strengthened in the process by taking out all the toxic assets. So that's a process that is already ongoing, right? Now all of that makes the bank's balance sheet better, right? So bank can go and lend, which is supported by the credit guarantee schemes. That's being expanded. So all of this is good for banks. There was probably no time in the past which was really good for all these small businesses with respect to their banking relationship. Should it get better? I think it should get even better. But as it is, we are in a fantastic position, is what I would say, compared to any time in the past, despite the COVID, etc. Now, all of that we have to give credit to the government, and we have to make the best use of it. Reasonable, clarity in your business is enough for you to take yourself forward. We have also received phenomenal startup funding. Again, one of the largest, and it continues, which means that a lot of equity money is going to flow in. A lot of debt money is out there with the banks. A lot of private banking lending models are coming. Business loans have never been better. The interest rates may go all over the place, but at least it's not your speed interest and kandu vaddi kind of a thing. So there's a lot of positives that I can see. Best time for anybody who wants to list the company into stock market, but that's a large company. So all of this it's looking good despite the lurking small level problem from COVID. I think we should approach it with positive. Schools are being opened everywhere. Vaccines are available. I think this is a very, very, very positive situation. Even if there are going to be any sudden breakout of some unknown strain, etc., it is going to only affect us for a shorter period of time. So the message is positive, is what I would say. There is no despondency. Where we were last year and the year before, it's totally changed. Perfect time for anybody to get into business or to grow your business, to expand your business. And the budget has not really set anything back. It has given clear indication of stability, and that is what we are also seeing in the stock market. It's reflecting over the last couple of days in terms of its increase is purely because of that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Badri. It was a wonderful discussion, and this post-budget discussion something will make give a complete clarity, about how people can look at it and how they can take it forward. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts and opinion on the same, and really grateful to you. Thank you, sir. Hope you all like the video. Please share, subscribe, like, comment.